tell you something, brother. This might be the best OG Kush I've ever had. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. You just said a mouthful, brother. I'm higher than helicopter butt. Listen, though, Hulkster. Younglurch has been running his mouth on that podcast. Blaze the Bingohall podcast needs to show some respect to the veterans, brother. I say we run in there and show Younglurch and his guest just exactly who the OGs of this game are, What you gonna do, Blaze the Bingohall podcast, when the Macho Man and the Hulkster run wild on you? Ooh, yeah. Give me like 10 minutes, though, because I'm really, really stoned. Oh, yeah.
Welcome in to Blaze the Bingohall. I am your host with the most, Younglurch. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Today, we are joined by our guest, the Great Sisaki. Sisaki, thank you for stepping into the Bingohall.
Of course. Thank y'all.
No problem. So we'll get into it. Where are you based out of? Are you in the West Virginia area?
Yeah, I'm based out of Virginia. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Yeah, I know how that goes. I'm in West Virginia, so same. I'm kind of close to everything though, so I know when it gets deep out into the sticks, it really feels like the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I definitely know how that goes. Because I see that you wrestle a lot in like Bluefield, West Virginia area, which is deep down in there too. So I know you're North Carolina, so I knew you were somewhere in that, I guess, relative area. Do you?
Yeah, I always in West Virginia, always.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique sort of independent area to wrestle in compared to other, I'm sure, crowds and promotions and stuff like that.
You'd be surprised. They like their freaks. So
yeah. So take us back. What are your earliest memories of wrestling?
I remember. I remember traveling, following this little tiny promotion down here where I live. It's Bruisers Wrestling Federation. The little promotion, been going around for forever, but I started following that when I was like 12. Okay. And I followed them up to Shawsville and met Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, and that was it. The rest was history.
So you were attending shows at that age, local shows?
Yep.
Was it like, did you go with like friends, family? Did they get you? Is that how you kind of got hooked into it?
Yeah, my cousins and my mom's originally from Appomattox, so they lived right there in the town, so they would go, and I got invited, and I got hooked.
So you mentioned Jimmy Valiant. Who inspired you the most to lace up a pair of boots? Was he one of those guys, or?
I didn't even know about him when I met him. And then when you meet him, you go online and you look everything up and it's like, what? He is a whole legend. I just met a legend.
Yeah. One of those things you realize afterwards, like you didn't know who you were talking to almost.
Yep. 100%.
So how did the Great Sisaki persona come to life?
I was everyone's sister. I was everyone's little sister. I started when I was 13, a few months before I turned 14. And so I was the kid around there. So, and I needed a name, and I knew I was going to base my stuff off of lucha with Japanese kind of gimmick that I wanted to portray. That I did karate for 10 years. So the Japanese culture, I just loved it and was really interested in it. So I just kind of dove into that, and I needed a name. So everyone called me Sis. Bam, bam.
Yeah. Kind of just went together.
100%.
Was that your first gimmick in wrestling, or was this something else that you did before you ultimately became Sisaki?
No, this was what I wanted to do, and I've been doing it ever since. I got my first mask when I was 15, 16 years old, and I've ran with it the whole time because I trained for like 2 years before I even went out in front of a crowd and knew exactly what I was doing.
You mentioned getting your first mask. Was that like someone local, or did you reach out to someone that specifically? Did you do it yourself, or?
My wrestling trainer had another dude that he helped train that had a mask guy, but he didn't really make mask anymore. So I kind of harassed him a little bit, and I got him to start making my mask. And he's based out of El Paso, Texas. He doesn't really make masks for anybody else, but he does for me.
There you go. Yeah, it's always good when you have those exclusive hookups like that, where you're getting that. It's an extra special touch on your merch or your gear or something like that. So that's always good to have. Set you apart from everybody else.
Definitely.
You mentioned karate. So that was before you started wrestling, then, right?
Yes, I started that when I was 4.
Okay. Have you took any influence from your karate background and used it into wrestling? I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. I think it helped a lot with my training and stuff like that. And I of course I do. It was Okinawan karate. So, and that's Japan. So I do the Chinese, Japanese, Oriental kind of. So I took a lot from it actually.
Probably helps. I would assume with like when you started training and stuff, like your mental side of it, also the physical side of it too, of pro
Yeah,
wrestling. Yeah.
yeah. Because I was a first-degree black belt when I stopped. So I had went through some crazy tests to get that. So
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know what that entails. I know my son, he just started jujitsu recently, so that's it's fun to see how he's getting into that.
oh yeah, it's fun. It's definitely good for kids.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Get them to waste some energy.
You're not
um,
wrong.
what was your first match like and what do you remember most about it?
My first match that I remember clear as day is just having it at Boogie's camp in
Mhm.
Shawsville. And it was one of the trainers, I guess he kind of saw something in me and was like, hey, let's just have a practice match. So that was like my first ever like trying to, put stuff together and actually do something. But then my first match was a big battle royal. Boogie's usually likes to start off kids with a battle royal or something like that. And that was in North Carolina, outside, hot,
Mm,
so hot.
those are always fun shows out there in the heat.
Oh yeah, gotta love it.
Yeah, I just was at an outside show. I went to CZW's Tournament of Death recently, and it was hot as hell during the day, sweating bullets, and then about halfway through the show, it just opened up and it started raining like crazy. It was like I was saying, if you ever seen Forrest Gump, it was like that part where he says, big old fat rain. It was some big old
Yeah,
fat rain coming down. So that was a different experience. So yeah, those outside shows are always fun and can be unpredictable, especially with the weather.
I do like some rain.
Yeah, yeah, brings the primal side of you out.
It really does.
What style of wrestling do you feel like defines you?
I dabble in a little bit of everything.
Mm,
I'm kind of hard hitting, but I've been getting into a lot of more like I walked the top rope the other day. I've
yeah,
been doing a little more like lucha stuff. So I'm not sure if there's one place that really defines me. It all depends on who I'm working, and
yeah.
I just kind of I go with whichever way I think would succeed.
You're able to kind of adapt with your opponent's style and I guess adhere to that, right?
Yeah, that's usually how I go about it.
That's one of the things that I like most about wrestling personally is I think styles make matchups. So when you have two people that may not have a similar style or maybe they do, a lot of times it can work well together depending on I guess that person's skill and your how seasoned you are and stuff like that. So it's always cool
Yeah.
to see those kind of matchups.
Well, with like indie matches, sometimes you don't really know the person when you get there. So so you're
Hmm.
not really maybe you've never even watched them on YouTube or anything. So like you kind of just gotta go with the flow sometimes, and that's just kind of what I've always done.
It's funny you bring that up because Sean Carlson, who wrestles in WDWA as well, like you, he has said the same thing. Is like sometimes you don't know these people when you get there, and it's a unique thing in wrestling where you have to trust them with your body and trust them to be able to work together and do the dance together, and it's a unique experience, I guess.
My little old man.
Did he yelp?
Yeah, he's got bad knees. It's a Pomeranian thing. He's like 13 now.
Okay.
Yeah, old babies. I got a lot of old
uh,
animals.
He's like 80 something in dog years then.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like I rescue animals, so I have a bunch, and old ones. I love taking the old ones in and letting them live their life out with me.
Yeah. I know how that goes. I had a dog. It was a Chesapeake lab, and it sucks when they get old because they, health issues, and she had like diabetes and hip problems, and you got to give them insulin and all that kind of stuff. So
it's crazy. They have problems just like us. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. If you're able to get them on some pet CBD, if you're able to get some of that usually helps them out.
Yeah, I've been dabbling, trying to figure out what works for him.
Yeah.
He's a little weirdo like me.
Yeah. So let's talk about your fight outside of the ring. When did you first find out about your breast cancer diagnosis?
So I got diagnosed, I believe it was the beginning of November, but I found it in ending of September. I found it. And that was last year. That was 2014. 2024.
That was just you felt a lump or something?
Yeah, I found the lump, and probably was the size of a quarter, but apparently that lump was connected to a bigger lump, connected to a bunch of lumps.
So from what I understand, it was a very aggressive type of breast cancer that you were diagnosed with.
They said that mine was extremely fast growing. So they said I probably didn't even have it that long. Wow. But it was extremely fast growing because it's just feeding off of my natural body, natural hormones.
Yeah. What was the hardest part about hearing those words when they first told you? Or was it maybe, I guess maybe if you felt like there was something going on, was it like a sense of relief to know, okay, this is what it is? Or was it kind of like
I knew what it was. My mom went through the same thing. Okay. And she knew what it was when she found it. I kind of knew what it was. I knew I was going to have it. I just didn't know it was going to happen this soon. But I knew what it was. And I went to one doctor and they were like, well, just watch it for 2 weeks. So then I went to another doctor and they sent me right in to get everything straight, to get it straight out. I knew. I think the hardest thing was that because I was rocking and rolling in wrestling. I was everywhere. Mm-hmm. I was going everywhere, popping up everywhere that I could. And I was going to lose my hair. I feel like that was I wasn't even worried about losing my boobs. I didn't want to lose my hair.
Yeah. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, it sounds so stupid, but when you're in it, it's
yeah.
I went to hair school too. I played with my hair all the time. I braided it. I love playing with hair and fixing hair, cutting hair, styling. Yeah. So when I didn't have my hair, I was like, now what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely terrible too, especially when the doctors are like, oh, well, do this, and then they, they're telling you different things, and you get put in that position where you gotta it's your life, you got to be able to take it in your own hands. And it's like, all right, well, I gotta do what's best for me. So if getting another opinion or something, and usually that's what they tell you, get another opinion to figure out what's going on. Cause I feel like doctors, sometimes they'll almost tell you whatever's going on at the moment that's convenient sometimes. So it's definitely a rough situation. How did, go ahead.
And then I was going to say, then I originally, because my mom went through it, it's a mutation in the blood. And originally I wanted to do surgery like my mom. My mom did surgery only, and then she did a pill for 10 years. But she mainly only did surgery. But I wanted to do surgery first to see, so because they said they always say, we see this, this, and this, but we won't know till we get in there. So I'm like, well, let's get in there. And they were like, no, do chemo first. And then I did 1 round of chemo, almost killed me.
That's like worse. Yeah.
Yeah, almost killed me. When you have blood coming out of both ends, that's horrible. I don't know how people do it. And then on top of that, like she wouldn't let me do the surgery till I did the chemo. Chemo tried to kill me. Hated that. I was in the hospital for days. Then the day I got out the hospital, I went to a wrestling show because it was a benefit for me for the cancer stuff. So I made sure I went down there. I didn't care.
I remember they were doing that. That was out in Berkeley, right?
I think no, that was in Bluefield.
Okay.
Yeah. APW did that for me.
Yeah, that's I think obviously right before that, somewhere in that time frame is where I had found out, because like you said, you were everywhere. You were popping up all over the place, and right around that time was when I started going to independent shows again. And like I said, you were one of the faces I seen all over this local area. And then I found out what happened. I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Such a terrible thing to hear. You know what I mean?
I agree.
How did being a wrestler prepare you maybe mentally for that fight, or, you know, having, like you said, the karate background mentally? You knew your mom had it. You've seen what she went through. Do you think you knew a little bit what you were in store for, I guess, when you found out?
Yeah, she went through it around 2013. So I took care of her while she went through the surgery and stuff like that. And she had to have 3 surgeries. They went in 3 different times to make sure they got it all out, because hers was spreading pretty fast too. And I think that was really the only thing that prepared me. But also, she didn't do chemo. She didn't do radiation. You know, she kind of prepared me for the surgery part. I knew I could handle, because I saw my mother go through it, and I was like, if my mom can do it, I can do it. But that chemo, I don't think nothing could prepare you for that at all.
Yeah, it's just straight up poison.
100%.
Was there a moment maybe during this time where you thought about, just obviously your life's on the line, but like where you think about walking away from wrestling for good, or was wrestling maybe an afterthought at that time?
I thought I was going to have to I thought I wasn't going to be able to do all the things that I was able to do, but now I'm able to do that and more. But I didn't think I was going to be able to hop right back in like I did. And that was discouraging. But it was also something to push me, though, because I was like, well, I was rocking and rolling a few months ago, so we need to get back to it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, like almost more motivation for return to give you that extra boost to come back and, like you said, rock and roll again.
Yep. They told me I was going to be out for 1.5 years at least, and I was out for 5 months.
Wow.
So
is that I'm sure what are their thoughts on that? not the greatest.
The only thing, they wanted me to do more chemo, but when I did do the chemo, it only shrunk the cancer that was in the breast, but my cancer was also in the lymph nodes underneath the armpit, and that's what was spreading so fast. So once they realized that it won't go on to help the lymph nodes that much, because the cancer has mutated. By the time it started in the breast, by it made to the lymph nodes, it had mutated. So it was like just different cancers in there, all connected to that one big one. And it was, what was I talking about?
About returning, like you using that motivation. So like, what was there a moment in treatment where you told yourself, I will wrestle again?
No, 100%. Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to be able to, for sure. I really didn't think so at all. The doctors, they're not necessarily, they know I do this, and I told them this is what I want to do. They argued. I showed them my point of view. I told them I was too young to be so sick. You know what I'm saying? I was too young to feel like death.
Yep.
Like it was, and they just, I kept pushing my agenda. They didn't want to listen, but then I showed them what I did pretty much. I was like, look, this is what I do. And if I can't do this, I'm not doing this. And they were like, okay. So after I finished, actually right before I finished radiation, I got my port taken out, and it was on from there.
Yeah, you're ready to get back into the swing of things, right?
Oh yeah, I did physical therapy for this arm because I had some cording in the armpit. It was literally like, it looked like a guitar string. Like when you could look at my armpit, it was a guitar string. Like you could prick it, like, and it would move.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all gone now. The arm is still a little tight and stuff, but I did have major surgery a few months ago. So
Yeah.
I can't complain.
What would you say to fans or wrestlers that are out there fighting their own health battles right now?
Man, when it comes to your health, it's hard to stay positive, because sometimes when you can't like just get up and do the easy things, even like just like cleaning your house, it's very discouraging. It really is. But some health scares and stuff, they only last for a certain amount of time. I was extremely lucky. I was able to push through, and I had such a good support system. But some people's health, it's going to be a lifetime thing. Like I've got to watch out for this cancer stuff all my life because of the gene in my blood. So I have to get scans all the time now. I just got a scan this morning. It was horrible.
I was going to ask, you probably have to do those quite often, right?
Yeah, I had to drink the contrast. And,
yeah.
So gross.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I have
But
Crohn's disease, so I've had those contrast drinks, and all that stuff is nasty. Yeah, I know that.
There's no easy way. There's no easy way. But I feel like just taking it day by day is what got me through. What can I do today that I couldn't do yesterday? And that helped a lot to get through all those hard times, for sure.
Kind of using those small wins to lead to bigger wins, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to have the big wins at first. That's for sure.
No. What was it like physically stepping back into the ring after recovery?
Exciting and nervous, but like good nerves, like just excited to be there. I was surprised I was able to do what I could. The only things that was a little hard is when it comes to the arm, I have to stretch it a lot more and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, I had to build my cardio back up. I wasn't able to wrestle outside right then and there, because of the radiation and stuff. But I was able to hop right back in there, surprisingly.
What about taking like chops or something like that? Were you nervous about anything like that?
I was originally nervous about it, but I guess since I'm kind of like numb in certain places, it doesn't necessarily hurt that bad.
Okay, it kind of works out then.
Yeah, like it surprisingly works.
Yeah, you would think that would be like you would think it would be really sensitive, I guess, but like you said, maybe because I guess there's nerves that have been cut out of. Yeah.
So under the arm, there's like, the doctor showed me like the nerve that I have under the arm. It's not like a straight nerve or right around. Mine was squiggly. So he was like, you might lose sensation. I was like, I don't care. Cut it out.
Yeah. Cut it all out.
100%.
Yeah. Did your approach to training and preparing for matches change after your comeback? I know you said you had to stretch more, probably be a little bit more cautious, I guess.
Yeah, I warm up a lot more. I take that part more seriously. And it seems like winding down after a wrestling match is really hard now as well. It's like once I'm up, it's hard to get back down.
Okay. Yeah,
but I definitely warm up a lot more beforehand.
How has your style in the ring evolved since before your diagnosis? I know you said earlier, you're doing you're walking the top rope and.
I've definitely been doing a lot more, been trying to incorporate a little more lucha since lucha is more evolved into like the actual like big wrestling and stuff. They're putting over the lucha stuff a lot more. So I've been trying to incorporate that because it definitely excites the little kids when they see stuff like that. They love it.
Do you feel like you have more? I know you're more cautious with your body, I'm sure, like you said, preparing, but like, do you feel like you have more of like a screw it mentality with certain things that maybe you might have been reserved for before because you're like, hey, this is, another chance, you know what I mean? Because you were looking death right in its eyes. Like you now have another chance to just go balls out, you know what I mean? Balls to the wall. Do you feel like you have some sort of that in the ring now?
Definitely. I did a dive the other day and I haven't done a dive in probably, I don't know, 8 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like feeling
it, right?
Screw it. Yeah. Anything that happens, I can handle it.
Yeah. Probably gives you a new perspective, I guess, on the way you look at the ring and I guess obviously life too.
Yeah. Like I'd rather me go out on my own terms, I guess, than cancer taking me out. It just, I've got my own self in my own hands now, not no sickness anymore,
Yeah. Do you feel like you wrestle with a bigger purpose now?
I feel like I do. I feel like before it was more just to show that, people are different and it's okay to be weird. Cause I was always that little weird kid. You know what I'm saying? I was that awkward, shy, weird kid. And I just tried to like represent them because that's what I felt like I wanted to do when I started wrestling. I was like, there's no one going to be like me. I don't want anyone to be like me. And that was my main goal. And so far I haven't found anyone like me, but yeah.
And you like to refer to your fans as the freaks, right?
Yeah, they are my freaks and my friends. That's them.
Yeah. How did the locker room react to when you finally returned? Sorry, couldn't get it all out there.
So I think everyone was very hesitant on what to say and stuff like that. But I came out cracking jokes and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Made it easier for them to kind of break the ice, right?
100%. Everybody was dying laughing. Like I have all kinds of jokes. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of that, I know I mentioned it to you when I talked to you at the last show about Black Dahlia and your guys' relationship and how she suffers from CRPS. And when she met you, she said the first thing you said to her is like, "Oh my God, you're dying too." Like it was just like a sense of like one of those heart to heart moments that when you meet somebody, it's just you just knew you guys were on the same, going through a lot of the same stuff, I guess, mentally at that time.
Yeah, like we instantly clicked. That was it. We were sisters from there.
Yeah. Yeah, she spoke very highly of you when she did her episode here on the Bingohall. So that was right before you returned to WDWA. I don't know if that was your first return to the ring or just I know it was to WDWA, but that was your first time back at that promotion. I think after your battle.
Yeah, that promotion is definitely a home. I had wrestled a few places before that. But that was the place that was one of the places I was looking forward to.
Yeah. Do you feel like your journey has made you a role model with wrestlers and fans?
Surprisingly, I feel like a little. Like I feel like like I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm the shit now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I feel like because cancer touches everybody in some type of form, in some type of way. So I feel like everyone feels closer to me, like they're more comfortable with me now. And then I start cracking the jokes about being flat chested. And then they're like, we love you so much. I feel like everyone, even the fans, surprisingly, even when I'm the bad guy, they're like, we don't care. We don't care anymore. Because before I always had the, you're bad, we love you, but you're bad, boo. You know what I'm saying? But now they're like, we don't care. We don't care what you do. We love you. You're a fighter, and that's it. And they're just like, we love you, regardless. So I feel like I definitely have I have like a very strong and supportive fan following for myself now, for sure.
Do you feel like so as far as like the fans and wrestlers being a support system, do you feel like you also had a lot of family that was supporting you during that time too, or is it a combination of both? I'm sure, you know, wrestling's like a family away from family, so I'm sure you probably had a lot of people reaching out, a lot of people that were checking in on you, so I'm sure some of that probably helped you keep fighting as well, right?
Yeah, I definitely had my family, and they were all right there behind me. Just they wanted me to do whatever I wanted to do because it was my choice in their eyes. And you'd be surprised, like even people like places I work at. Like I go around a bunch of different places, and even they hear about it and they ask about you. They just want to check on you. You know, you'd be surprised how many people this little person like sprinkled happiness into their lives. It's, you never know how many people you touch in life.
Yeah. Probably means a lot to you. And like you said, when people come up to you and they feel like they're comfortable enough to just talk to you or approach you or feel like they know you in some sense because of, I guess, what you've been through, that maybe they can relate in some sense, that probably is rewarding in some way to be like, okay, like what you're doing and to keep going and keep wrestling. It's all for the right reasons.
Yeah. And like they're comfortable to walk up and talk to me when I look like this.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know what I'm saying? And like, they can understand that I am the superhero character they want, but I am also a little human. So like they can see that a little bit, and it opens up doors, and it's incredible, honestly. The stories I've heard, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like you said, whether you're a good guy or bad guy, they're just there to support you. So that's always a good feeling.
100%.
What's one thing you think that you'll never take for granted again, inside or outside of the ring?
Oh man, everything. I'm grateful for everything, honestly, and being in the ring and being able to teach other people and try to, you know, make people feel like, oh, I can actually wrestle. That's another thing that I really, really enjoy, is teaching other people, and even teaching other wrestlers that's been wrestling forever, like just coming up with different ideas for them. You know, that's something I've always really enjoyed doing, because like I love to watch them and be like, oh yeah, I told them to do that and they did it. And I'm like, yes, and it's great. That little bit of satisfaction, like I really am really grateful for little things like that now. And just being able to travel, like that's another thing. Being able to travel and going to wrestle, and my health, that's a big thing. That's, you never know until your health goes to the, you know, boo.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, that's people always say that it's kind of like a cliche thing, like, oh, your health, you know, you don't take your health for granted, but it's like until you're put into that situation, you have no idea what that means or what that feels like. So it's definitely an eye opener when you have something like that happen. Do you plan to work with
and it
any,
makes you think, like, you never know, huh?
Go ahead. You know, you say you never know.
You never know what someone's going through, ever.
Yes. That's so true. I found that out years ago at a place I was working. A guy, he had like 6 kids. His wife had just passed away, and he was like left with all these kids. And like you would never know that this guy was struggling the way he was struggling. And then like somebody told me like, hey, this is what's going on. It was just like exactly like you said. You never know. You never know what somebody's going through. Like So you can't judge a book by its cover. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you plan to work with like any like breast cancer awareness groups, or if I don't know if you do already, or advocate through wrestling potentially with them?
I do not know. I've had a lot of the cancer people at the cancer center. They want me to do like little sessions, like pretty much just everyone sits around and we tell each other about what everyone's going through and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know if you want me to tell them how I felt when I was going through those things, but I'm pretty sure, a lot of the people going through it would understand. But
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking about it, but I haven't really dipped the toe in it for sure. I feel like everywhere I go, I am an advocate for breast cancer now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, everywhere I go, I teach somebody something about it,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely if you ever do go to any of those groups or seminars to talk, it's always good for people that are going through it at that exact moment to be able to have that to relate to. Like I said, I have Crohn's, so when you meet someone that's going through the similar thing, like with you with the breast cancer, it's like, hey, we have this like connection immediately, and exactly what this person's going through to an extent. And when you're able to kind of, I guess, talk it out and kind of work it out some way, it helps a lot.
It really does.
How do you handle the haters in the crowd? Because who might not understand what you've been through, and is that a part of why you show your chest proudly now as a symbol of survival?
100%, because my body is not for everybody, and this is my body, and I'm not ashamed of it. This is the hand I was dealt, and you never know how you'll deal with a situation until you're put in it. And I get called a dude, or they'll ask me, are you trans or anything like that, and I just tell them, no, I am a woman. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and then they're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
They feel like this big.
I'm like, don't judge people by the way they look. Like the way I look does not, it does not affect you at all. At all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's almost like you wear it as a badge of honor. So it's like you said, you're constantly advocating and constantly able to, I guess, change people's perspective on what they may think initially or whatever, or have you, I guess.
Definitely. And most of the time it's, teenagers or kids, or some random adult. But most of the time I just have to educate people, because some people really don't know.
Yeah.
They really don't know that you can, they have no clue. So I just feel like everywhere I go, I've got to educate people, kind of like, just like it's just what we do.
Who's on your list of dream opponents now that you're back in the ring? If you have a list of dream opponents.
Anybody and everybody.
Okay. Coming for them all, right?
Literally, I'm coming for them all. I'm down. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anymore.
I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts on intergender wrestling? Because I recently had Mickey Knuckles on here, and she's someone that, she broke into the business a long time ago, and intergender wrestling was not as accepted as it is now. Do you feel like you see more of it now, I guess, or do you get booked for a lot of intergender matches?
I see a lot of it, but don't no one book me for an intergender match. I want to be in an intergender match. Yeah. I grew up like wrestling dudes. There was no girls around. So most, right? Yeah, it's balls to the wall when I wrestle a dude. There's no holding back.
They gotta treat you just the same. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I would love to be in more intergender matches. Believe
let's put that out. Let's put that out there right now on the Bingohall. The Great 100%. Sisaki wants more intergender wrestling matches. So book her because she wants it. Who wants it? Come get some.
Damn it.
Yeah. What goals do you still have in wrestling? Championships, tours, main events?
Honestly, I've never pictured myself as a big wrestling company kind of chick. I've always been kind of for like the underdogs, the little promotions, the ones that you might not get to see someone like me on. I like to bring my style and me to everywhere. So I never really pictured myself on a big screen before, but I would like to do some JCW stuff.
Okay.
I think
Would
that would be
you would you get into some like deathmatch type of stuff too, or
Yeah, I
hardcore?
would probably play. I would dabble. I'd
Okay.
dabble.
Okay. I'm gonna pull this picture out too. What is this a current title that you hold?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
hold like 5 titles right now.
I know you're on a belt collecting tour right now, right?
Yeah, that's my AIWF Mid Atlantic Championship. I
There
had
you
it
go.
before the breast cancer, and they were like, "You're going to keep that belt because you're coming back." So I was like, "Okay."
I think this might have been when you returned to WDWA.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes,
was
yes.
slipping on the pictures over here, and I didn't want to forget. I had to bring them up here. And then this was you kind of came out, and I believe you gave a little speech there at the end, just kind of thanking everybody that you were back. That was a good little moment. You could tell that you were really excited to be out there in front of everybody. So I'm sure you definitely felt like you were at home in front of the crowd.
Oh yeah, definitely emotional. That crowd has always kind of supported me regardless.
Mhm.
So I knew I was going to get a lot of really good support from them.
Are there any promotions that you're hungry to work with in the next chapter besides WDWA? You said
Mm.
JCW, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to do that. 100%. That's really the main goal. I don't really see me doing anything more crazy. I like to be kind of behind the scenes. I like to make everyone else look great and
Yeah.
stuff. I like to help everyone else. So that's really the only big goal I've got.
That's always I would assume a rewarding, right? When like you said, when you're able to like, hey, do this or do that, and then they pull it off in the ring or in a promo or what have you or something, and you're like, yeah, yeah, I helped them
Like
with
I
that,
knew
or
it. I knew it was
yeah,
going to be good.
yeah. Beyond, I know you mentioned it, like you like helping people and helping them, kind of get their, character development or what have you, or with little things. But beyond wrestling, do you see yourself mentoring or coaching the next generation?
I definitely do. I'm at Boogie's some Sundays training and stuff. I'll be there this Sunday. I was there last Sunday. I pop up there and help train, especially when the other ones can't be there. I try to be, a reliable source. But I definitely like that's what I've been doing recently is, getting people more bookings that deserve it and, trying to help the new ones, the new girls, the new guys, anybody that I can, try to help them get more comfortable in the ring because I was that awkward, shy kid. That was
Mhm.
me. So I get it, you know?
Yeah. Do you think I would assume wrestling helps you break out of that awkward shyness, right?
Oh, definitely. It helped a lot. Like, I mean, with me, I was really young, so it took a little longer for me to break out of my shell, but wrestling definitely helped a lot.
Yeah. How do you balance the grind of wrestling now with taking care of your health?
Oh man, that's a struggle. I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
I try to only schedule doctor's appointments between like Tuesdays and Thursdays because Mondays I'm exhausted and Fridays I'm getting ready. So
Yeah.
that's the whole I try to, but I still am technically in treatment. So
Mhm. Do you have to do like IV treatments or anything like that, or?
I get a targeted therapy shot every 21 days. It only targets cancer cells. So anything that's in my body that's cancerous, it's going to attack that. And they usually pair it with a chemo, but they can give it to it separate. And separate, it's a lot less toxic. It's more manageable, and I can actually get up in the mornings and go to work without throwing up, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
What's been the most emotional or memorable fan interaction since your return?
Oh, at WDWA, there's that one dude in the front row. He loves
Gary.
playing with my
I know exactly who you're talking about. Gary.
Yes, he is fabulous.
He was
loves
wearing
playing
your
with my
he was
stuff.
wearing your entrance gear.
100%. And I hand it to him for that reason.
Yeah, we were up in the bleachers, and me and my wife were like looking down. Look at him down there. He had the hat on and everything.
Enjoying himself, boy.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask you about your tattoos. You have quite a bit of tattoos. How long have you been getting tattoos? What do they mean to you? I see that you've gotten probably more since you know you've gotten your breast removed. And is that easier for you because the sensation's not quite there, so it's just numb? Maybe I guess in certain spots, right? But tell me about your tattoos.
I started when obviously as soon as I could. As soon as my mom would sign the papers. I think I was like 15. She signed the papers and I started. And I started getting them places that I could hide them and stuff until I knew what kind of line of work I was going to go through and stuff. But they're all kind of little pieces of me. Like the first tattoos I've got were 2 clowns on my legs and 2 puppets on my back. So I got the puppets because I was obsessed with the Puppet Master movies, the old school Full Moon, the New Moon fucking Puppet Master movies, the old school ones with Pinhead and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was obsessed with them as a kid, and then I loved clowns. Clowns were my thing. I was a weird kid. That's my thing. So those were one of the first ones that I got, and then as I got older, you know, I rescued a lot of animals and stuff. So on my legs I have a bunch of animal names that have passed that I've helped and stuff like that. So that's a big part of a lot of what's going on my legs. Most of the time you can't see, but a lot of them is something to do with my animals, of course. That's a big part of me. And you know, like I've always pictured like, and I have like branches, like it's kind of like branches or lightning. It all depends on your perspective of the tattoos. I got them a little bit of everywhere. And I've always liked trees and stuff, nature, but I got it as like a symbol of growing. And I thought, you know, it also looks cool. So they're like, each of them kind of have like their own meaning. I think there's only like 2 tattoos that are really random that have no meaning.
I was gonna say that's pretty awesome to hear because most people, especially nowadays, you'll ask someone, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's just whatever." You know what I mean? Not really, doesn't mean that much. And seems like a lot of your tattoos, they have meaning, and you know exactly which ones were what, and maybe certain chapters of your life when you were going through certain things. And yeah, that's pretty cool because not a lot of people are like that anymore. It's just like, I don't know if you've seen some of the videos, but I've seen like where people are now going and getting like 10-15 hour like they're getting sedated with anesthesia, and then they're getting like 3-4 tattoo artists to do like an entire sleeve or an entire leg sleeve, a chest piece, all this stuff at once. And then they wake them up and they're standing there and their bodies are like this, just shaking because they're in shock. I'm like, the comments are like, this isn't tattooing, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even like, because there's a whole culture behind it, you know, like it's like, that's not even tattooing. Oh, I just went in for a surgery, basically woke up with an entire leg sleeve. It's like, what is that? It's like weird.
Literally, I don't understand it. I don't get it either. I mean, I get it, tattoos hurt, but
yeah,
don't put me to sleep. I don't like that.
No, it's like a whole new thing that's going on. They'll bring in like 3-4 tattoo artists and they're all just doing it all at the same time just to get everything done. I'm just like, this isn't right. It's weird. And I'm sure they spend a lot of money for it too, you know, because you gotta have like, you know, you're paying for the anesthesia and like, it's crazy.
I mean, anesthesia is expensive too. Like,
Oh yeah, all that stuff. It adds up for sure. So the big one I have for you is what's next for the Great Sisaki?
I am working on getting my South Carolina and Kentucky license.
Okay.
I have my Maryland and my Virginia, of course, but I'm working on getting those so that I can kind of start spreading out just a little farther than my normal range, which my normal range is usually like Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, Maryland. I've been wanting to do Ohio, just haven't really made it out there, kind of waiting to get the licenses so that way I can just start spreading out a little more, just a little here and there, nothing
You
crazy.
do you wrestle in Pennsylvania too?
I want to, I just haven't ever made it out there. So
Okay. Hey, another one. We'll throw it out there. Let's get you booked in Pennsylvania.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. I'd like to do Pennsylvania, Ohio. I'm down with New York too. I'm down anywhere, man. Anywhere over here. Give it to me.
Yeah, let's make it happen. So let the people know where they can find you, where you're at on social media. This is your handle, at least on Instagram. So if there's anything you have coming up, any shows, anything you want to promote, go ahead and let everyone in the Bingohall know.
Yes. So on Facebook, I am Sis Sisaki. And my Instagram is here. And I'm going to be in Bluefield, West Virginia this Saturday. I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina this Sunday. It's a late night show. It's going to be fabulous.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of everywhere. I am. I've got a bunch of shows coming up. I'm also going to be I'm going to be back in Tennessee next month too. So I'm going to be popping up everywhere. And also you can message me and put your location, because I also have been trying to I've been getting certain promotions wherever like someone lives and they want to see me wrestle. So I try to get a promotion near those people so that they can see me wrestle. So let me know.
There you go. Let her know. Hit her up on social media. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for stepping by the Bingohall. Other than that, if you have any last words for everybody, we're going to go ahead and head out of here.
Also, I have been selling my art. So if anyone's interested in that.
What do you do? Do you paint or draw?
Yeah, I originally started painting because I wanted to learn how to draw. And then I learned how to draw some stuff and I was like, now let's paint it. So I've been doing it for a while and I really enjoy it. And honestly, even if you don't buy anything, please come up to the table and just take a glance, say hello. I just appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Is your art available for purchase on your socials or?
I haven't. I just started selling it, so possibly.
And what do you do? Is it like canvases or?
I do canvases. I do wood. Anything you can paint, I do it. I mean, I'm literally painting my wall over here in in this room. I don't got nothing in this room because I'm going to paint the whole thing. So
yeah, I'm in my painting phase right now too. I'm painting hats and have you ever painted river rocks? That's like
yes, they're so fun. They're so cute. You can hide them places and stuff.
Oh that's how we got hooked on it. The Kindness Rocks project. We started hiding them. I was like, this is a whole addiction. Then we started painting them and putting them out everywhere, and it's like a whole thing now. So it's a rabbit hole. So
and honestly, like little kids love it. Like my nieces and nephews, when they find one of those rocks, it makes their day. They take it home and then they go hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a whole thing out there. In case you guys didn't know, the Kindness Rocks Act, look it up because I had no idea before we got into it. But it kind of gives me like a little outlet to paint stuff. So I have to bring you by something next time I see you and give it to you, Sisaki style.
Definitely, because those are they're so freaking cute.
Yeah,
so cute.
Well, I appreciate you for stopping by, everyone. This has been the Great Sisaki, and we're out.